little bit of breaking news to discuss with you this afternoon. You'll know I am personally a massive, massive fan of Mauro Icardi of Inter Milan. He's had a very difficult time, and look, whether he's the right signing for Manchester United or not is open for debate. But Manchester United linked to him today in a swap deal where Di Marzio, who we were speaking about Di Marzio the other day, weren't we, and how reliable he may well be now. Not so reliable last year, but in previous years he has been quite reliable in relation to Manchester United, saying that the only way he can see Icardi leaving Inter Milan is through a swap deal. Now, he's mentioned Cavani with PSG, he's mentioned somebody else, Napoli and stuff like that, but this is in relation to Lukaku. Look at the fucking light in this country. It's raining, it's light, it's raining, it's light. And now I'm getting a fucking beam of sun on my face. I tell you what, I cannot be doing with it today. It's hot when it's cold, it's wet when it's dry, whatever. Anyway, Icardi, he is 26 years of age. He's been frozen out by Inter Milan a little bit this season, but boy, this guy has got goals in him. 5'11". If you are talking about getting the best out of Paul Pogba, then Icardi is the sort of number 9 we need. I think Lukaku, we all know, needs to move on. I think Rashford, we all know, needs competition, kick up the arse, and maybe he will be the player we want him to be, maybe he won't be, but we certainly can't rely on him game in, game out, because he's still got a lot of development to him. So Icardi would be very, very interesting. £110 million release clause, but as I say, Di Marzio has spoken quite openly about the fact that they can only see it being done as a swap deal, and this is because of Italian money issues and the fact that if Inter Milan did get someone to buy him, what would they be able to do with that money anyway? They would want a sort of replacement to come in. Now, Lukaku and his agent have been flirting about Italian football for a very long time, so I think this is very, very interesting that Di Marzio, who knows the Italian scene very, very well, has mentioned Manchester United and Lukaku as a concrete exchange. When discussing options like the Cavani from PSG to Icardi, he's spoken about Lukaku and Icardi probably being the most concrete one that would work. Now, what would Manchester United get with Icardi? Interestingly, was the captain of Inter Milan, has been frozen out for the last few months, not signed a new contract, had the captaincy taken away from him, and has only recently, in the last few weeks, sort of started playing again. He came on as a substitute against Roma. I think they were losing 1-0 at the time. They got an equaliser. Then he's meant to have a bit of an injury as well. He has improved. He is getting involved with United, but the bottom line is that with Icardi, you're going to get some baggage. His agent is his wife, and that's how that works with Manchester United. You would have an agent who is quite problematic. But I also feel with Icardi, he guarantees you goals. I think across his whole career, he's got about 133 goals in 260 games, something like that. He would be what I would say, maybe not world class, but the sort of top class striker that Manchester United really, really, really do need. And it's a deal that I would love to see Manchester United doing. I've been a big fan of Icardi's for a long time. I think Lukaku is a player that we're going to have to move on. I think hopefully Alexis Sanchez is a player that we're going to move on. And that leaves a void that I don't believe Rashford, Martial can fill. I like Rashford, I like Martial, but we're dealing in real things now. And when I look at Man City of last night and how that worked, and John Lim's right, there is an attitude problem with Icardi, but there's an attitude problem with Rabiot, who's free, and he might be a player that we look at. I agree, but is the perfect player out there? Is there the perfect number 9 who hasn't got an attitude problem out there? And sometimes a player with something to prove can come in and be absolutely symbolic. I mean, Cantona had an attitude problem. He looked like a bad buying. He became a club legend. Icardi, I believe he's 26 now, 5'11". He's good at holding the ball up. Some people think that Icardi's got a bad first touch and can't create things. You need to seriously watch Serie A, and you need to watch Icardi. He's an Argentinian striker, which typically he can play football. He can score goals off both feet. He's a fox in the box. He's strong. He's aggressive. He's got the lot. He should have a load of Argentinian caps, but he doesn't because he slept with an Argentinian player's wife, who is now his wife, and he's not well liked. But aggression, if he came to Manchester United with a point to prove, he would be a sensational signing. And I tell you what, the difference between Lukaku and Icardi is a bit like the difference between a Ferrari and a wheelbarrow without wheels. It's that Lukaku is a goal scorer if you put chances in the box, but even last night that chance against Man City that he missed wasn't good enough. So Lukaku is a player I don't necessarily know is going to go. We need a centre-back, a right-back, 2 midfielders and a right winger. If we can do a swap deal for Lukaku and Icardi, it's almost like it's not really a deal. because we've just got rid of a player we don't want and we replace him with a player that we do want. But hopefully it's just a very easy deal and then we concentrate on those 5 deals that I say. But Icardi would suit Manchester United. He can hold the ball up. He's got a bit of pace about him. He's got a bit of trickery about him. And he's got great movement in and around in the box. He's quite good in the air for being 5'11" as well. And he would give us a whole new dynamic. And he would give us a top-class striker. And I think this is what I've been looking at when I look at Manchester City last night. Where's the world-class player in Man City's team? Well, yeah, you know what? Laporte's good. Sterling's good. Aguero's definitely world-class. De Bruyne when he's fit. But were they world-class when they bought them? Or did they buy players that were top-class that went on to being world-class? Because even Aguero, when they signed him from Atletico Madrid, was he world-class at that stage? No, he was top-class and he became world-class. David Silva's the same. De Bruyne's the same. Sterling's definitely the same. They buy players who are on the top-class trajectory to complete the world-class journey at Manchester City. And then you end up with a bunch of players that are professional and hungry. United need to avoid these players who are already world-class, who are coming in to do us a favour. We need to get hungry, point-to-prove, top-class players. And there are plenty out there. There are plenty of options. And when you're talking about midfielders, I said today, Barella from Italy, Ndombele, Partey at Atletico Madrid, you know, maybe even an Ndidi or someone like that. There are players out there that you can go and get that will be hungry and improve Manchester United, and that's what we need to look at. So I think with Icardi, it'd be very, very interesting. For those joining a little bit late, it's from Italy, it's from Di Marzio. He has said that the only way that he believes Icardi leaves Inter Milan is in a swap deal. He spoke about Cavani PSG, but there's wages issues there. He spoke about, I can't remember who else he was speaking about. I don't know, it was something to do with Napoli maybe. And obviously, he said the concrete one in his mind is Lukaku from Manchester United to Inter Milan. And as I said, Lukaku has spoken openly about Italy. His representatives have spoken openly about Italy. I think this would be a fantastic deal for Manchester United. So smash a like on the video if you would like Icardi at United, because I'd take him with the baggage. Because the baggage is basically his agent who's his wife. He's a bit tempestuous, but he's got a point to prove. And if he leaves Inter Milan, with the way he's looking like he's going to leave Inter Milan, his next team, he's going to be up for it. Point to prove, aggressive. He's 26, so it's not like he's coming to United for 3 years, then he's off to Real Madrid, because he's 29 then. This is his prime years, and that, to me, would be a very, very, very good signing. Because ultimately, I think what we're seeing with United is what we were talking about last night. We're a very good team at United, apparently, but we know we need a right back. We know we need a centre back. We know we need 2 midfielders. We know we need a right winger. But because we're playing so rubbish, lots of other areas are becoming rubbish. And I think what's happened over the last 3 months, and we have to accept it. Lingard's gone crap. Rashford's gone crap. Martial's gone crap. Lukaku's Lukaku, and Sanchez is Sanchez. 5 strikers all letting us down. If one of those players out of 4 or 5 were playing well at the moment, we wouldn't have lost the games we've had. But we've got 5 players all playing crap. Our front 5 are crap, and they've cost us games. Martial, Rashford, Lingard, Lukaku and Sanchez. It's ridiculously unlucky, but actually, in a way, I'm glad it's happened, because it showed that you can't count on those players. Yes, we need to move a couple on, and a couple need to be on the bench, because their consistency levels are not there. Now, I think with Martial and Rashford, they can improve those consistency levels because of their age. Lingard, I don't think he ever will. He's 27, so he's a bench player. Lukaku and Sanchez, you need to move on, which leaves a massive void. Greenwood's going to come through, but he obviously is going to be inconsistent because he's young. We need to go and get somebody, and Icardi would just, it excites me because it's not something I expected, but if we could get him to United, I mean, can we get him to United? I mean, he's been playing Europa League football with Inter. Does he really want Champions League football? I don't know. But I think he'd be absolutely fantastic for us. I'd like Lozano as well. T. Lewis, of course I would. I think he'd be a great signing for us as well. But the Icardi signing in a swap deal for Lukaku, I just hope, and I've got to say this about Di Marzio because I said it the other day, I just hope when it comes to Di Marzio that he actually is going to get something right in relation to United. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant at one point. But he has sort of dropped off a little bit lately, and we'll have to just wait and see what happens with that. But I'd love it. I'd absolutely love us to sign Icardi. I really would. I think it'd be absolutely brilliant for us. Anyway, just a quick update on that. Please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get your comments in below. Would you take him at Manchester United? We're back again at 8 o'clock tonight with the Chelsea preview. I think this is encouraging. I think it all rests on how how credible Di Marzio is going to be around United transfer news this season. But he's saying concrete exchange would be Lukaku for Icardi, and the only way he thinks that Icardi will leave is if it is for a swap deal. So let's wait and see what happens. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all later. Get your comments in below.